Hope you guys are doing well out there. This is Black Spring with Autumn uh on your Friday, almost Friday. Almost on your Friday. Hope you guys are doing well out there. I just ran into something. I just did a little bit of a dog pile in terms of searching just searching, just trying to see what this was all about. So I guess I'll give you guys a few seconds to come in. I mean, it's man, we're on a ride, it seems, and it seems like certain elements, they don't change. Certain elements along this ride, they don't seem to change. They just repackage, and rebrand. Um, yeah, it's identity projects. Many of these same projects are getting a facelift. I'm going to talk to you about exactly what I mean. So I entitled this stream Hip Hop Task Force. Okay, so that's going to be brought to you courtesy of. I'm just saying, there's nothing new under the sun. So can you guys give me that scripture? It's Ecclesiastes. There's nothing new under the sun, but you have to be able to recognize the form and the function of what's going on out here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Okay. You might think I'm a hip hop task force. So apparently, this rep Bowman out of New York decides he's going to create, or he's going to, dare I say, you know how they pin authorship to bills and acts, and that's just, to me, it's right up there with the delusions and illusions of reparation task force and all these kinds of things. Okay, so doing this a little bit off of the cuff here. So just be patient with me here. I'll tell you the liner right away. I'm not doing this in studio, but I will follow it up in studio without doubt. It will be one to watch. So this actually comes from fox17.com. It comes from fox17.com. And this is the Dems actually formed a hip hop task force to address economic and racial inequality, not just music. All right, so before I get into that particular art, I just want to give you a little bit of what I contend is going on here. My contention here. All right, so my contention here is, of course, it goes back to what I was saying. Nothing new under the sun here. Um, this just to me confirms that the music industry and, I quote, the powers that be, the consuls of our alleged government, their study groups, they've been twined for years. And what I mean twined is that they are attached to one another. They've always to me collaborated. They mine your weaknesses. Okay. They want to say, oh, we're going to study reparations. Well, to me, this is just another way of them. They're just mining your pain, mining your trauma. And they want to use the influence of, they want to use the airwaves to do it. And they're going to do that through music. Okay. They can call it a hip hop task force. They can call it whatever they want. It's still going to be. So let's go there. So what I want to talk to you about is, hip hop. So to me, when I look at the identity, when I look at the design of this, I'm looking at this from a designer standpoint. That this is an identity project. To me, it's no better than a rebranding of this particular task force. They say, oh, they're all about inequality and equity and all these things, and they want to be able to have hip hop artists talk about what's going on in their communities. But to me, this is very much to me, this hip hop task force is no different than than BLM getting a microphone and its communist clenching fist. Okay, when I look at this thing in terms of from a design standpoint, that's what I see. It's also hitched to this BMAC, of Black Music Action Coalition. To me, this is not just another way they want to pretend like they're hitching what's going on Capitol Hill to policies and how they're going to reinvent and make everything equitable and inclusive and all these I tell you it's the black community is what my concern, the slash African American people that are going to fall for this kind of nonsense, because some people are just like Hoover vacuum cleaners. They just suck up every single thing that comes out. They suck up everything that's twined with these stars. Okay, they just suck it up. And to me, it's not going to do anything but just kind of infuse the death and destruction cultures. I mean, because hip hop, we all know that whatever hip hop was 40 years ago or 50 years ago, 60 years ago, let's be clear. Whatever it was, 50 years ago is definitely not what they're serving now, okay? Okay, so the fact that this Bowman rep out of New York is going to try to, he's forming a hip hop task force to address economic and racial inequality. It just, like I said, just kind of it's just more of a revelation. It's relevant, it's revealing, it's the three R's. It's a revelation, it's revealing, and it's relevant. Okay, and it's always going to be. So they can repackage it and rebrand it all they want. The objective is going to be the same. Like I say, the enemy, they know you by your pain and not, you know, by your name. They know you. And it's just a form of social engineering and social designing is what they're going to allow. The government is going to basically have a bunch of flying monkeys, e.g., these alleged hip hoppers running around pretending like, oh, well, they know, oh, they came from some of the most, you know, disproportionately da 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 groups. And we know that those hip hoppers and all these people that have risen to stardom, we know that they've paid an ultimate price to get in these positions where they are. They've made a deal to get the deals. They had to make a dirty deal to keep the deal. So how wholesome could it be? I mean, how authentic? Let's see. Authenticity is definitely, it's a great time of deception. Okay, we live in a time of grace. This is a huge deception. But people are going to lap it up because that's what they do. And they've also coined this guy Willie Prophet Stiggers of the Black Music Action Coalition, and you'll see in when I like I said, when I look at this whole picture, it's just BLM with a freaking microphone in their hand. BLM has been repackaged and rebranded, and they're going to go through the veins of. They're not hiding it anymore. They're letting you know they are going to use these. To me, this is no different than I got the mocktail, you got the mocktail, we got the mocktail, and it comes courtesy out of the bookend of the East Coast bookend, New York City, a New York City rep. How original, okay? Because these people don't give a nickel's worth of rat about what's going on in the community. They are controlled. It's just going to be more controlled opposition. Do I think it's just going to allow them to pump. Shout out to the Lockhart perspective. She just says that what is it? Soros has just bought up a whole bunch of debt through this company called Odyssey. That's a very interesting name. It's spelled Audacy. And to me, it's definitely an Odyssey. It's like a classic. It's more like the classic Odyssey. For that comes to mind for me. It's kind of a play on words. These people, they're clever with it. Okay, the trickery, the clever, it's clever. All right, so let me give you a little bit of some more landscape here. So apparently this is Rep Jamal Bowman. All right, so there's Democratic members of Congress formed the Hip Hop Power and Justice Task Force on Wednesday, meant to address economic inequality, affordable housing, and racial justice concerns. My gosh, really, this really, New York, how long have they been going through that? How long? All right. So according to the Fox17.com, Rep Jamal Bowman and the Democrat out of New York declared the task force will be using hip hop's themes of police and judicial reform to influence legislative efforts. And my friends, like I said, we live in a time of not only revelation, relevance, and revealings. It's all over the place. Okay? But I'm telling you, many of these, there's nothing new under the sun. These things have been there. All right? They're just showing you, they're just peeling back the layers for you. They are showing you the design of their manipulation. They're showing you the design of their deception. That's what they're doing, okay? And they're using the airwaves, to influence people. Whether it's negative, whether it's to go against, to vote against, or to whether it's to vote, quote, against their own interest. That's what it's going to be used for. Okay, according to this, hip hop is not just music. It's not just an art form, end quote, he remarked, according to Wavy. It's a culture with a multi-billion dollar economy, but we haven't harnessed the power of it yet to make transformative change in a legislation, end quote. So I'm telling you, this is no different to me. This is no different to me than this is just a rebranding or repackaging of a BLM. Because to me, as a matter of fact, whatever, even the colors, I don't even really think they changed it very much, okay? So the musical artists will be able to influence legislative activities through the task force, according to The Hill. Quote, artists have held the establishment accountable for many years, and during election years, many people in the community and culture continue to not trust as it relates to what we're doing on the Hill, end quote, Rep Bowman reportedly noted. So they have got a pulse on what's going on. They've always had flying monkeys. Okay. It's just that they're letting you know, they're to me, this is almost like just a larger effort or a deployment. That's what it is. Okay. So this is Shay Lawson, policy chair for the Black Musician Action Coalition, reportedly predicts the task force will produce initiatives based on ideas formulated by genre artists. Do you see? This is exactly what I'm talking about. These are your social engineers, people. These are your social. Yes, they believe they are the stars directing your fate. Okay? And they're gonna go back, and they're just gonna be a bunch of flying monkeys that go back and they're gonna tell people what they're gonna how effective it's gonna be, I don't know, but I do know that it's a powerful tool. Okay? It really is. Because they know they're not gonna connect with black people when it comes to economics. They're not going to connect with black people on economics. They're not going to connect with black people on education. So what do? They go to the lowest, one of the lower vibrational, they go to the lowest common vibrational denominator to reach people. And listen, I am not impugning musicians. I'm a musician myself, but they know that if they can't get people to think, they can allow words and music and vibrations and waves to wash over people. Okay, they'll miss a whole lot. This is quote: we are committed to utilizing the cultural capital And then this is powerful. We are committed to utilizing the cultural capital of Black music to influence the music industry and greater society on the issues of racial justice and equity through policy, philanthropic, and educational initiatives, she affirmed, according to Wavy. So this is whoever Shay Lawson is. So you see what I'm saying? These people are they know the value that Black people put, that they know the value of Black music, and they want to use it. They want some of that. They want to use that capital. Okay, it's exploitation. Is they want to exploit it in a way that's going to go directly to Capitol Hill. All right. So the news of the task force comes 2 days after the House announced the relaunch of its bipartisan Congressional Rock and Roll Caucus. End quote. The caucus, first launched in 2012, will seek to highlight the quote positive impacts of music and the quote importance of cultural organizations such as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. Now we know damned well that the rock and roll, that the other faction, to me this is the polar opposites. Whatever the rock and roll caucus, rock and roll of fame, believe me, that's not the same type of objective. Okay, it's not. These people are trying to go after. They're trying to go after. They've got to keep all this stuff alive. They've got to keep the color coding alive. They want to bring, they want to be flying monkeys and talk about the pulse of they know what people are talking about. They know. But let me keep going here. Okay, so Rep Bowman formed the quote hip hop power and justice task force, given perceived societal support for a ceasefire in the Israel Hamas war and the Black Lives Matter movement. You see how this stuff is twined? And according to the Hill, opportunities to create relationships with lawmakers in anticipation of presidential election were also reported factors. So you see, this is to me, they're trying to figure out how they're going to use these people, I guess, in this stupid their selection process. They're trying to figure out how they're going to use that. Okay. Okay, so according to this, quote, election season is critical to build authentic relationships in terms of what the needs are, what the challenges are, what the struggles are, and what the aspirations are. And the congressman told the Hill. Okay, I'm doing this a little off the cuff here. Sorry for the disjunct or whatever here in the speech here. The task force will reportedly expand on quote hip hop on the Hill, an event which encourages artists to interact with lawmakers. Quote, we want artists to constantly be talking to lawmakers about what they're going through in their communities and what's happening in their communities so lawmakers can understand that hip hop artists come from the most marginalized, neglected places in our country, end quote. Rep Bowman reportedly stated. The evolution of hip hop's culture is reportedly represented by the task force creation in the eyes of Willie Stigers, co-chair and founder of the Black Music Action Coalition. Quote, what you are watching is the maturation of the culture, end quote, Stigers said, according to Wavy. You are watching us come together and take something that came from nothing, that came out of despair, that came out of being disenfranchised. Now you're seeing the effects of that culture growing up. All right, so this guy also has the name Prophet. By the way, bring in the blasphemy, right? Willie Prophet Stiggers. So I mean, I've already looked at some of these donors. Of course, they want you to donate. It's dripping with all of these liberal coalition types. I'm telling you, the propaganda is probably going to be like off the proverbial chain. That the who knows? I think what's going to happen. There's going to be so much in the airwaves in the next several months to come that you're going to probably have to unplug, but it's still going to be reverberating even after you unplug because there's so much being injected into. See, this is what this is more about. This is more of an election type, to me, objective, but it's also, to me, it's just another, like I said, it just proves that these people are all connected. The black people, the blacks, quote, African American artists, and all these people, they've always been linked up, entwined with these, quote, caucuses. And you know, it's really like, to me, it's just, it's just, to me, the everything seems to be falling. It's not that it's falling apart, it's just that it's just the corruption is being revealed. That's what I can see. As far as I can see, the corruption is being revealed. And these bought and paid for artists, hip hop artists, and all of these people, they've always been connected. They're not just now hitching a wagon or a wheel to freaking Congress. They've always been in the ear. Just go back. What if you go back to, what is it? You go back to the White House. What is it? Obama had all of those hip hop stars visiting at the White House. These people have always had their ear. They know what's going on. Just like with 50 Cent. Oh, 50 Cent is asking Mayor Adams about what's going on with these prepaid debit cards. You know, some people patted him on the freaking head. Oh, he's such a businessman. He's asking Mayor Adams about the objectives of the debit cards for the illegals in New York City. And I'm just, that's all I'm just saying. Some people are completely controlled, and they know the black community or slash African Americans, some of these freaking stars, they're beyond reproach to most black people. You cannot say anything in the negative about their beloved hip hop stars, or they're going to try to attack you. They know the influence. So it's just another, it's just a cancerous tool that's going to be used to keep their ear to the ground. And that's all it is. And it might work on one generation. It's going to probably, see, this is the problem. I see two generations. That baby boomer generation is dying off. Okay. The baby boomer generation is dying off. Okay. And then so what you're left with is, to me, you've got a whole nother generation. You've got three or four generations now out that they need to try to continue to reach. And they're going to be able to do that with all kinds of debauchery and destructive, deceptive BS. They're going to do that. They're going to do that with all these coalitions, and they're going to do it. And then, so whatever's in the middle, anybody that falls in the middle of that, they may not have a pulse on people that are in that 40 plus, in that 30, maybe that 30 to 40 year range, 30 to 50 something range. But these people, that the 30 to 50, 35 to 50 range of people, but no, they are working on the future. The future, they will be pumping all kinds of propaganda in about their election processes, and that's all they're going to do. That's exactly what they plan on doing. They can't reach them any other way, so that's what they know exactly. Because you notice it, who was it, that Lori person said that they want to use the capital of black music. They know that the capital is more or less This capital that she's referring to is more or less the influence of the community. That's what the capital is. They know the power of it. They already know. They know what the influence is. So they're trying to get as much as they can out of this hip hop crap. It's just it's going to be twined to so many things. To me, it's like a rebirth of BLM on some levels. It's going to be, and they want to say, oh, it's about, know what's important. These hip hop artists need to be able to communicate with Congress. Well, they've already been doing that. How is that any different than what they've done now? Like, who is it that what even Biden has had what the Sierras and they've had these hip hop and black artists in the freaking White House on multiple occasions. That this is to me, this is like one of their last attempts to they want to invest in that future generation. They want to invest in that generation because they know that's about the only thing that they have left, because that generation in between, the generation between the baby boomers and that Gen Z group, you don't have them. They're done. And to be honest, a lot of the Gen Zers, these third and fourth generations, young people, they're going away. A lot of them, there's a a growing faction of them. They're just not buying all of this history that's been on the books for years. They're just not buying it. They've been exposed to they've been exposed to things that have not been told, and it's that have not been, shared in history. So it's just, it's a gamble for them, but they know that these hip hop artists and musicians are really popular. They know that. They know they can get to uh they might be able to reach somebody from that. They know that that's constant because the music has gotten lower vibrationally. There's no substance to it. And they can't even, it's just not going to, but when you keep the thread going, it'll just give them a connection to, they just have a direct line. It's almost like they wanted a direct line to the generations to come, and this is the way they're going to do it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really appreciate you guys burning, or those of you that have, if you came in or not sure if you wanted to come in. But, take a look at what's coming out with this hip hop task force, courtesy of your NYC Dem, Jamal Bowman. I tell you, between these caucuses, all these people are twined together. They are. They really are. He's the Maxine Waters, all these people, that they can, get up there and dance around with these hip hop people. These people talk all the time. They know. They've been connected. They don't need a Black Action Music Coalition. They don't need a hip hop task force. They are just figuring out ways to further destroy quote blacks, and with their debauchery and their, so they said police themes, police themes. Do you just see how antithetical this stuff is? It's just like, what the heck are you talking about? Hip hop's police themes? What? Especially what's going on in New York right now. I mean, that place is going to implode with all the crap that's going on up there. Just look at it. Like I said, by summer, there's no telling what's going to be going on. But I appreciate you guys for taking the time. So check it out. It was fox17.com, I believe. And that is your little hip hop task force. Because they fight for equality in the music industry and society, the broader society. So, like, to me, in greater society. To me, this is all This is all a sociology experiment. And they've been doing it for years. They've been mining your weaknesses. They've been trauma bonding you. This is how they keep you trauma bonded. They keep you linked, love bombing you, trauma bond. You will remain trauma bonded to that quote party because of their tactics. The debauchery will continue. Just like I said, I was talking about this the other day about how are the institutions really like if everybody in this country is screaming, "Oh, this is wrong. Something's wrong with this. Oh, this is wrong with that." And as I wanted to talk about the FAFSA, I'm going to talk about that on an in studio stream. I mean, you got a freaking was it Miguel Carona? The your freaking Secretary of Education is Hispanic himself. So do you guys think that he's not going to, with all these illegals and all this stuff, all the people that are flooding the borders, you guys actually think, to me, they're overhauling it for the new, for the wealth transfer that they're preparing. It's not, it has nothing to do with that application. Oh, the application needs an overhaul and oh, everything needs an overhaul. Oh, we need a federal income adjustment look, just throw look. A lot of people talk about it. Just we've been all duped. Okay, I'm sorry if I sound like a Debbie Downer or negative Nancy. Well, here it is. It's like if they're gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater, they're just telling you what they're doing. They're just telling you exactly what they want to do. Everything needs an overhaul because we are approaching a new world order. Okay, they go ahead and put your little tag on there, YouTube. They're approaching the new world order, and things are not going to be the same. Okay, in order to save the republic or the democracy, you got to destroy it, and they are destroying it as we speak. Go ahead, go ahead and do it. Like I said, this place just keeps reminding me of Rome. You gotta, you know, Rome had some dictator eras too before they got those wonderful councils to allegedly the balance, the balance of power. There's not a bit more balance of anything going on here. You got an imbalance of corruption running through this place. And it's only going to get worse. So I'm just like I said, you better take cover because I just have to tell you the way that I see it. But every single institution, oh, they want to revamp it. Oh, this is not right. Oh, we want to make it easier. Oh, we want to do this. And basically they're making things for so that the illegals can have access to FAFSA, and it's already out west. If you live within so many miles of the border, you can go to college for free. And it's they're revamping it for the taxpayers, for people that things are being revamped for the new world order, which is going to be funded by the old world order. We are the old world order. The people, we are the old world order. The new world order is where the benefits are going to come in. Okay? I'm just saying that's just the way I see it. But I'll get into FAFSA, on another, I'll get into it on an in studio stream. But I'm just saying, institutional wise, they want to allegedly revamp everything. So, everything, of course, anything could always be better. But when you're literally destroying, when the country is literally falling apart and crumbling right before you, there's no going back. We've talked about this. And shout out to the class of CV19. We're not going back to the way things used to be. And it's a transformation right now. It's under a transformation right now. And I tell you, in 5 years, 6 years, what is it? We're in 24. In 6 years, you're not even going to recognize the place because of all the things that are going on right now. They've just, Yeah, with all this equity and inclusion, all this stuff that they're pulling out, it's going to crap. You know, there's you can they can never no government can ever make anything 100% equitable. No government can ever make anything 100% inclusive. It's not. You're delusional if you believe that. And I wouldn't even insult the intelligence of the people that still, listen to this channel or come onto this channel. You're still visiting this channel after all this time. You know better. But they're going to try to do it through social engineering. They're going to destroy it. And then when you look around again, it's not, hey, well, they love to say, well, black people, we want somebody to look like us. Hey, none of this is going to look like you in a few minutes, okay? That's a crappy old pipe dream, because none of this is going to be looking like you. In fact, we don't even know. We don't even know, but you won't be able to recognize it because it's already happening. The delays, just I don't know. I mean, like we're just constantly like what is it the other day? They just what they approve another one of those multi-billion dollar deals to send more money, our tax money to other people. And we're just steadily paying it and steadily running to hit one-armed bandits and boxes. I mean, to me, I'm just beginning to think this is just it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't even look at the debt clock anymore because I don't even think I can't even who can trust that that's the accurate the debt. Is that really? I don't think so. I don't think so. But you're on the hook for it, is what you do know. And it's steadily rolling. Steadily rolling. So yeah, I figure, and they're talking about the amount of military aged men that are in this country right now. If we don't even know the unmarked people that we don't know. We have no idea. But they got but they're worried about the black community. They need a hip hop black people need a hip hop task force. Yeah, that's what they need. I mean, I everybody's in the meantime, like every one of these industries has some of the same players. Same players. Same players, whether we call it the hip hop community. They're just all piling in together because that's to me your actors, your musicians, your dancers, all of these people have always had a vital role. They've always had it. It doesn't matter who they invite to the Super Bowl, they're all twined together. They are twined together on Capitol Hill. We know that. When they had that last inauguration. You think they don't have a coalition already? You don't think there's a task force already? How many task force do you need? You can rebrand it. But what I see is, to me, I see that this is more or less a new BLM. BLM is being marketed, rebranded through this thing. I think BLM is going to is rebranded. They get a microphone in their communist little fist, and then they tell you, "Oh, we got a hip hop task force now, courtesy of your representative, Jamal Bowman." I'm just saying. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is anybody out of New York? Um, yeah, I'm sure those people they're having a ball. New York is there's a couple of channels I wanted to share with you guys. There's two guys. There's like there's a police op. There's he's not a well. They call them the Angels, or they Guardian Angels and Angels in New York or something like that. He has a YouTube channel, and there's another guy that's basically showing all the stuff that's going on with the illegal slash migrants, the migrants in New York. And then, like I said, the fact that Soros, shout out to the Lockhart perspective, or shout out to Headlines with a Voice. Um, Soros just purchased Odyssey's, basically just purchased an account that's going to be a communications account, or all the debt for. I mean, that guy's worth a lot of money. Soros is, he supports migration, and he's been supporting it since before now. Like I told you guys back in 18, that surge on the southern border, and near San Diego, he was all over that. But the New York Times, not the New York Times, but all the magazines covered it as showing, oh, they're firing at women and children. But look what you got. You go up to that island, one of those islands up in New York, and it's all military age men. You don't see, I didn't see, if you go on to those two guys I'm telling you guys about, Yonkers, Big Hawk, it's all military men that they've put them on an island up in New York. And I'm just thinking, at what point, it's almost like they're putting these people, it's almost kind of like they've got them in camp. Like, when I think about it, it's like, are they going to release these guys onto society? When is this all going to go down? It just makes me wonder, when is the crap really going to hit the fan? Or when are they going to start dripping it out? Every now, see, the things that we see in the news, we keep seeing, oh, they're attacking the police. They're released. We don't know where this one is. That one got away. They got to release with no bail. You know, at some point, something larger is going to happen. I just think that they're just kind of like toying with, it's kind of testing the waters to see what people's reactions are. But then my thing is, at what point, what is it? They just took allegedly, they just took a 15-year-old illegal off the street that had a gun on people, or doing some crazy stuff. I'm telling you guys, there's something about every time. It's one thing about YouTube. You can see footage that you're not going to see. The mainstream media is not going to show you. Is it Randall Island? Is it called Randall Island up in New York? They're showing all kind. This area is full of military age men. As a matter of fact, what I'm gonna do, I might go back into one of those videos and let you guys see this. You'll see they're very hostile. Um, it was kind of a dangerous footage that the guy was trying to get, but he said he wanted to go back, but he wasn't going to go back alone, because this island that they're on is full of military age men. I didn't see not one child. I did not see one woman or child, very few women or children in this area. I don't know if is it Randall Island, but I'll go through it again, and then maybe I'll show it to you guys. But you might, if you want to see this stuff, they're giving you footage pretty much every day, every week. Um, but these guys are very hostile up in New York that are on this particular island. It's definitely, I don't know if it's called Randall Island, but it's not a place you want to go through by yourself. You don't want to cross over into that area. You don't want to cross. I mean, it's basically, they're kind of got them all blocked in. They don't want people with cameras. This guy was kind of taking a risk, even going out there. So I'm just, it kind of it kind of begs the question, when TRUMP were saying they weren't sending their best, did he know something? Did he know something that we didn't know? There's a lot of people have contended that somebody emptied their prisons, and it almost seems like they've set a whole island aside. If is it around Randall Island up in New York, and they've got all these guys roped off. They've got there. I don't know for lack of a better phrase, was some porta potties and a whole bunch of stuff up there. And these guys are like, they don't look like they're downtrodden at all. They look like they're in good shape. Um, and they're all just, it's like, it looks like a bunch of gangs. Like I'm telling you, this is what you're not going to see on mainstream. You are not going to see mainstream showing you footage of an island full of military age men. You will not see it. Big Hawk, Yonkers, NYC, and this other guy, they have got the footage. They've got it. And they're planning on going back. But I think the guy had such a weird experience or such a bizarre experience the last time. He's not going to go back without this his friend that's actually, I guess he's going to take a cop back with him. Um I'm telling you, I just think by the summer this thing is going to it's going to implode. It's almost like they're preparing for, when I see them talking about a hip hop task force by a rep out of New York, Jamal Bowman, and when I see them talking about all this stuff, to me it's like we're on course for something that's going to be similar to the FLOYD situation. But I think it might very well end up including, it's going to be a reason for them to enact like martial law or something, and it's going to be something between the police and some of these people that they've brought over here. So I'm just saying, not only it's a crisis, but it's setting us up for some social unrest and some chaos in the street. They're prime in the summer. They've already imported. They've imported the actors, bad or whatever you want to call them, but something is going to jump off. And it seems like New York has been ground zero for a long time. Every time something's gone, every time they get ready to swipe some rights from you, you better look to the bookends. You better look to New York. And to me, that's where my eye is. That's where my eye has been for several months since last year. And I'm only looking closer every day because that footage that you see on these two channels, it's raw. It's basically an island full of these military age men, and they're all got their hip hop gear on, their jackets, their caps, their Nikes. These people do not look like they are broken down. They look like they've been well fed, and they look like they got cast iron jaws to go with it. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. So you know, I've been doing my little research behind the scenes, but it's nice to see people out of New York. Now now they're all screaming TRUMP and it's, it's not funny. You got to laugh to hold back the tears, right? But I'm going to keep an eye on that situation because I just find it interesting that all the THEORIES, all the theories, these, look, we CTs, we better get some new theories because all the old ones have already come true. Now, I don't know if you guys have any information. What I don't know who has anything on was on Venezuela and them emptying their sales. To me, I don't know who those people are up on that island, if it's Randall Island or whatever it is called. But to me, they might be looking like some pretty good suspects, some pretty good candidates. Because they are not, these people are not nice. They are not nice. You can't even enter it, but it's blocked off. And it's almost like they're in a training camp. There's tents out there. It's blocked off. Um, yeah, it's looking a little suspect to me. It's looking like what the heck, and to me it's like to me TRUMP must have known something else that he must have known something that everybody didn't know. So, what a time of revelation! What a time of relevance! What a revealing time that we are living in. So, I'm going to be keeping my eye to New York, and um, this hip hop task force is just another distraction for the blacks, because it's their communities, quote, and African American communities that are being flooded. It's their homeless that are still on the streets. Um, it's it's kind of amazing what they've imported for the world stage. But We have to endure to the end. So that's what you can, you know, keep yourself, you better pray for your discernment, because I just think things are going to get really interesting. And I'm just going to, maybe before summer, things warm up. Um, I don't know, but I'm just saying that this task force is the more controlled opposition. It's a bunch of flying monkeys that they want to hire out. And yeah, but I just think that they've lost, their little pulse between the baby boomers and the end cap and the heels of the Gen Z. They're not going to control that anymore. But they've already got your replacement right away. Your replacement's already here. They're going to tear down your little systems, and your so-called your colleges aren't going to function the same way anymore. Uh it's just not. I mean, I don't know. It's like we're kind of going in, we're going to be kind of a little bit of a wasteland. We're going to look more like a wasteland as we transitioned from the old world, which I think the old world, I don't know, what is it? Could somebody, please, somebody in the place, what is the scripture where it says the former world has passed away? It's like we left the former world in 2020, and now they're literally tearing things down. I mean, what was Biden ran on, Build Back Better? Well, in order to build something back, whatever it is, you got to destroy it. You got to destroy it in order to save some things. Sometimes they say you've got to destroy it in order to save the republic, or save it. You got to tear it down. That's exactly what they're doing, but it's not going to be the same thing. It's not built back. It's not being built back for you. They're building it back. But it's not being built back for you, or for those of us from the former 2020, from the old world. It's not being built back for us. Okay? So there's going to be more forces to come out, more actors to come on the scene, and let's just see. We'll just see the foot soldiers. The usual suspects are just going to keep going with doing what they're doing. All right, guys. Well, have a great start to your Friday. And if I get a chance, I want to come back and bring you that FAFSA report. I'm hearing, I've got some testimonials from people that actually work on the ground, that work in some of these institutions. And of course, they're touting, I can get into more detail on that. Everything from the HBCUs, and to the Ohio State University. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section on the replay about the Hip Hop Task Force, courtesy of your rep, Jamal Bowman. Give it up. All right, guys.